Fermentation is a metabolic process in which microorganisms convert carbohydrate into organic acid, gases, or alcohol. This process is significant because it helps preserve food, improve food safety by inhibiting harmful microorganisms, and contributes to the development of characteristic flavors and texture. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate the production of sauerkraut through fermentation, including the preparation process, fermentation conditions, microbial changes, and the characteristics of the final fermented product. The ingredients used in this preparation include cabbage as the main raw material, along with carrot and garlic. Salt is also used in the preparation. No starter culture is added, as fermentation relies on naturally occurring microorganisms on the vegetables. The equipment used includes a peeler, a knife, a cutting board, a basket, a small bowl for salt, and 2 containers. Before fermentation, all vegetables are thoroughly washed under clean running water. The outer layers of the cabbage are removed, and the vegetables are placed in a basket after washing.
First, cut the cabbage into 4 quarters. Then, remove the core from each quarter. Next, shred the cabbage finely using a knife. Finally, transfer the shredded cabbage into a clean bowl and set it aside. Use a peeler to remove the outer skin of the carrot. Then, cut off the top. Next, shred the carrot into thin strips so it mixes easily with the cabbage later. Peel the garlic cloves to remove the outer skin. Then, cut the garlic into small pieces so it can release its flavor during fermentation. Now, all the vegetables and ingredients we need are ready. Transfer all the cabbage, carrot, and garlic into a large container for mixing. Then sprinkle the salt evenly over the mixture. Before mixing, we wash our hands thoroughly with soap for at least 15 seconds to ensure cleanliness. Mix everything evenly, ensuring the vegetables are well coated with salt.
A few moments later,
as the salt works on the cabbage, it begins to soften and gradually shrink in size. After the brine forms, transfer the cabbage into a clean fermentation container. Gently press the cabbage down so it sits below the surface of the brine. Place a small container on top to keep the cabbage completely submerged during fermentation. Make sure to pour all the released liquid, the brine, into the container as well. Submerge, gently press, and fully brine. The cabbage is ready to transform into sauerkraut after a few days of fermentation.
The length of fermentation strongly affects the final taste. Short fermentation, around 2 to 3 days, give a mildly sour, very crunchy sauerkraut. A medium duration of about 5 days gives stronger sourness and more developed flavor, which is what our experiment focused on. If you ferment for 1 to 2 weeks, the flavor becomes very sharp, the aroma gets stronger, and the texture becomes softer. So the fermentation duration is chosen based on the taste you want.
Over the 5-day fermentation of our sauerkraut, we observed changes in the cabbage, brine, and general fermentation activity. On day 0, the cabbage was not sour and hard. There were no bubbles, and the brine appeared bright orange and clear. This intense color comes from the rapid extraction of carrot pigments into the brine at the start of fermentation. By day 1, the sourness was slightly noticeable. The cabbage had softened slightly from hard to firm. A few bubbles were present. The brine remained orange and clear, though the initial burst of pigment had already stabilized, keeping the color consistent. On day 2, the cabbage became very sour and crunchy. Small active bubbles formed, and brine started to show slight cloudiness. This is because microscopic plant particles and early bacterial cells became suspended in the liquid. Day 3 maintained the crunchiness of the cabbage, sourness was moderate, and bubbles increased. The brine became more cloudy, while the orange color stayed consistent. The gradual cloudiness reflects the growing population of lactic acid bacteria and additional plant fragments in the brine. On day 4, the cabbage remained crunchy. Bubbles were still present and sourness moderate. The brine stayed orange and cloudy, with cloudiness continuing to increase. Finally, on day 5, fewer bubbles were observed, and sourness was at its strongest. The brine was most cloudy while the orange color remained stable. The preserved crunch demonstrates that pectin and cell walls were not degraded during this short fermentation period.
Now I'll be explaining the science behind our 5-day sauerkraut fermentations and the changes we observe. Here is our sauerkraut change daily. You can see difference in sourness, bubbling, texture, and brine color. Sauerkraut fermentation is driven by lactic acid bacteria. On day 0 and day 1, the bacteria are still adapting, so we don't see much sourness or bubbles. On day 2, early bacteria like leuconostoc become active. They break down the cabbage sugars and produce lactic acid, and that's when the strong sourness starts. By day 3, carbon dioxide production peaks, causing loss of bubbles. By day 4 and 5, more acid-tolerant lactobacillus take over. They keep producing lactic acid, so the sourness increases while gas slows down because most sugars are used. From our observations, the sourness increased each day and became the strongest on day 5. Bubbles peak on day 3 then decreased. The texture stayed crunchy throughout because salt and acidity protect the cabbage pectin. The brine stayed orange from the carrot, and it became cloudier as bacteria multiply. Sauerkraut is rich in probiotics that support gut health and digestion. It also contains vitamins, and the low pH naturally preserves the food. Our result shows the fermentation follows a clear pattern. Bubbles means active gas production, cloudiness shows bacterial growth, and stronger sourness means more lactic acid. The orange color came from the carrots we added. If you want to make sauerkraut at home, keep these basics in mind. Use about 2% salt to keep fermentation safe. Store it at room temperature. Around 18 to 22 degrees Celsius works best. And most importantly, keep the cabbage fully submerged in the brine so harmful bacteria can't grow. And that's our sauerkraut fermentation journey. Thanks for watching!